Oh yeah, the intro. That's
Take my
right.
pee-pee and treat it like a lollipop.
With millions of YouTube channels, lovers of the weird, wacky, and what the choose Talks-A-Lot Entertainment. This is Dick's News International.
Hello and welcome to Dick's News International. I, of course, am the host, Cory. Duh. And this is my good buddy, Lester. How you doing, man?
Can't complain, man. Can't complain on the day before Friday.
Hell yeah. I feel that. Been up to anything fun lately?
Well, we'll see this weekend. Well, I've got a 3-day weekend thanks to President's Day, and our partner doesn't work on that day, so
Nice.
cool.
Hell yeah. That's great, man. So we're going to start out with a couple news articles. This first one is, have you ever had a Final Destination moment where you see like a truck full of trees and logs and stuff and you're like, fuck, I'm going to die?
Yeah, whenever I'm with a friend on the freeway, and you might run into those tanker trucks. Yeah, like don't want to get too close. Yeah.
Our first story is very much like that. Bonsoir, Christian Delorme. What's up, buddy? Hope you're doing good. And of course, if you're a member of the Talks-A-Lot Town Square Gilded, you can join any of my streams, really. But you have to be a member. And I'm not taking the time to go and get an invite link. Just saying. Too bad. Anyway, the lovely Sherry. Hello there. Wonderful to see you. Hey, chat, have you guys ever had a Final Destination moment? Let me know while we check this one out. 14 injured after tree falls onto a roller coaster in Spain. That's like some horrific shit right there, yo. Have you ever thought a tree might fall on you when you're on a roller coaster?
No, and it's funny. I love my roller coasters, and then it's like, yeah, I trust the restraining systems. Like the belts or the latches, and I'm like,
yeah, and it's never really like, oh, that tree might kill me while I'm flying at 150 miles an hour around this loop, but who knows? Yeah.
Yep.
Hail to Radioactive. What's up, buddy? Christian Delorme says he's driving home from work in a snowstorm. Please be safe. Why are you listening to me if you're driving in a snowstorm? Oh my gosh. That is such a poor life choices. Yeah.
The computerization of cars with the big screen, with the touch screen and all that, you never know what they have in there.
That's true. That is true. And also, make sure you check out Christian Delorme's Vinyl Revival. I was on his show again last night when we did Rush Part 2. I was there for about an hour and a half. It was a good time. Make sure you check that out. So, some 14 people were injured too seriously on Sunday after a tree fell onto a roller coaster in Port Aventura in Tarragona, eastern Spain. So these people were on the Tomahawk, which is a children's coaster, and tree fell down on a kid's coaster, smushed a bunch of people.
Interesting.
I bet Christian Delorme, as a truck driver, has had himself quite a few Final Destination moments.
I would imagine.
I hope tonight's not one of them.
Agreed.
Just saying. What's the largest chicken heist you've ever heard of?
I haven't heard of any chicken heist. So
you living under a rock or something, bro? I mean, come on.
I'm a city boy.
Okay, so what do you, in tons, how big do you think the largest chicken heist in history has been?
I'll go with maybe 5 to 10 tons.
5 to 10 tons. Okay. Well, you're wrong. It's actually 133 tons of chicken. So Cuba has arrested 30 men over a massive chicken heist. Yes. So 30 dudes stole 133 tons of chicken and sold them on the street at a time of food shortages. Go figure, a communist country has food shortages. That's
You
my
figure. Go figure. You think? Yeah.
So the thieves took the meat, 1,660 white boxes from a state facility at the capital Havana, and used the sale proceeds to buy refrigerators, laptops, televisions, air conditioners, and probably some drugs. Hail to Boosh McFadden. Chicken. Yes. Yes, chicken.
Yeah.
The cock down there, right? They don't.
Of course, this man shall make your pee into a luncheon of crunching and destruction.
Yeah. You're going to see a lot of those clips popping up tonight, by the way, because that was the funniest fucking video I've ever seen in my life. Anyway. The chicken had been earmarked for Cuba's ration book system, introduced after the late Fidel Castro. Just saying, his son's still in control in Canada, so it's not that big of a deal. So now they're talking about how it's bad that they stole all this shit and then sold it for cheaper than what the government would actually give it to people for. Yeah.
I mean, in terms of margins, they could probably get away with that because they had little. I mean, if they wanted to really account for costs, they're like fuel, time, bodily energy, I suppose. But other than that, there's no expenditure footprint in terms of the actual chickens.
The 30 charged included shift bosses, IT workers at the plant, as well as security guards and outsiders not directly affiliated with the company. So it was obviously an inside job. I mean, how else could they get off with 133 tons of chicken? I mean, I can't even imagine what that actually looks like. I know it's 1,600 white boxes, but so I see videos of trucks crashing on the interstate and spilling shit like grain and like liquid propane and stuff all over the road. And it's like, I'm trying to imagine what it would be like to have a truck crash with 1,660 boxes full of 133 tons of raw chicken.
Yeah.
Just, and like,
I
bet the dogs down there be happy.
Bush's comment about the chicken finger. Well, they better be finger looking good, or whatever the slogan KFC tried using. I don't know if they still use the slogan, but I remember maybe in the last 5 to 10 years they were like, "It's finger looking good." All right, if you want to go that way, or at least what Sean his step is saying, that I might have to steal that one.
A cocktastrophe. Wow. I like that too. A cocktastrophe. When they write their story, you think they'll be a decent typists, or will they hunt and peck? I think it's the hunt and peck for sure.
Yeah,
that's a good goal.
Yep.
Food scarcities. Yeah, we already went past that. So, if they're found guilty, they face 20 years in prison.
Jeez.
Which, given Cuba, that's not going to be fun.
No.
It's not going to be fun at all. Because 20 years in a Cuban prison, like, man. Bush says they're culturally behind, so I bet some still like 70s style. A bunch probably had feathered hair. You're absolutely correct. It was fantastic. Can't wait until they get into the flock of seagulls.
They ran so far away.
Yeah. Yeah, they wish they could, but damn it, they're on an island. Too bad. Anyway,
Interesting the mentioning of subsidization of for all, whatever that means, right? And that's really intriguing. It's almost like you can have varying degrees of communism. As much as we decry the system in itself, it's like, you know, Vietnam may be bad, but it's not as bad as X, Y, or Z. You know, slim picking. You can either be
yeah,
Venezuela, you can be Cuba,
shit
China.
is shit, no matter what
Yep,
color you
yep,
paint it. So,
yep.
yeah, 30
Birds
people is a lot. Birds of a feather. Indeed. Indeed. That was a massive ring of cock thieves. Very similar to the American cosmetic surgery fields these days. Just saying. So we all know that tension is a little high in the world today, and cops are very much on edge.
Okay.
But this next story, you might say, is a little nuts.
All right.
Video shows Florida deputy repeatedly shooting at a man after thinking falling acorn was gunfire. Marquis Jackson says he was traumatized after Deputy Jesse Hernandez shot at him while he was handcuffed and strapped down by seatbelts in the back of a patrol car.
I don't
So,
get how these websites can get away with the most flagrant of misspellings. Like if you go to the top, I just like, what's the grammar correction? Florida deputy or deputies? What was like? Take your pick. It's like, is it the deputy repeatedly shoots or is it deputies repeatedly shoot? But it looks like
Florida Sheriff's deputy
mhm.
is probably how they should have just
They could have just included the S at
Florida Sheriff's deputy. That's one
repeatedly
extra word.
shoots. Yeah, or
One extra word.
Yeah.
They could drop repeatedly and just say shoots at. People would assume that it's multiple. Hail to John Edgar. He says, sorry I'm late, folks. Was tending to dogs and cats. I go through that daily. Cuban is great as long as you don't talk about anything the government doesn't want you to talk about,
No,
which
that's
is
almost
anything at all.
that's almost any communist country like China or Vietnam.
Well, yeah.
Hmm.
Russia right now is imposing, or I should say Putin is introducing a new bill in Russia so he can legally jail criticizers of the
Oh,
Ukraine
sure.
war. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the church has shown
So,
its stripes based on the contact I know. I've gotten to know who is, she goes to Russia every once in a while because she's part of a certain board, but there have been priests being defrocked just because they speak against the war. And it's funny when your ruling hierarchy is using rhetoric like a radical Muslim would use. It's like equal to like, if you die in this holy war, you'll be greeted by 72 virgins or whatever the rhetoric is. But instead, it's like, you do anything for this war, your sins will be forgiven. Really?
yeah, it just really goes to show you that zealotry and extreme versions of any faith,
Yeah.
basically the same damn thing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
No matter who's doing it, and that's a big problem for sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're talking about a guy that got
This
spooked.
guy, body camera video release.
Yeah. Released Monday by the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office shows Deputy Jesse Hernandez yelling shots fired multiple times as he falls to the ground and repeatedly fires into the patrol vehicle. Marquis Jackson was suspected of stealing his girlfriend's car earlier that morning and was restrained in the back seat. He was luckily unharmed by the gunshots, but he said the incident left him traumatized. Hernandez, who has resigned from the sheriff's office, has not been charged. Dude should have like either not been on the force or they should have probably been doing a little bit more psychological evaluations for stress-related paranoia.
Or they should improve their training because
well, there's always that too.
a lot of cops I know some cops who are active, and one even provided a synopsis that like a lot of them are not being trained correctly in knowing when to use force. Like, a lot of times they'll find someone who does this fill in the blank martial art, but a lot of it is overly aggressive in how they handle that. And
Yeah, there's a reason they're not a professional martial artist, and it's probably because they're too aggressive with their attacking. That happens all the time.
What is John Edgar qualifying? 100% believe that.
Pretty much everything you just said.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because yeah, go ahead.
There's just a lot of crazy shit going on in the world right now, and I've been missing out on the Florida Man articles. So I figured
Florida Man in my life.
Yeah, so I did some. That just seemed to jump out at me. Like acorns and shit.
Yeah.
Totally. Like, was he high? Was he on cocaine?
Yeah.
Yes, he says, yes, everything Lester just said, I 100% believe and agree with.
Yeah.
Indeed. Faux show. What up? Sorry, getting distracted with shiny object syndrome over here. Yeah, Vince Womack posted a meme. Seen it. I'm a meme lord. I've seen that. I'm not sharing that. You're such a boob. Anyway, where did my articles go? Damn it. Yep, you see what I did?
It's all good.
Jeez. Yeah. We could talk about... Did I cover this one? Yeah, I covered that one back in January. Damn. Oh, well. You want to see some random shit I found on the internet?
Sure.
Sure. Yeah, you do. Have you ever seen someone try to cook with a firework? So, yeah. This guy is going to cook eggs with a firework. Why won't you play the damn video?
I don't wish any ill will or death on people, but sometimes you just wish natural selection will do its job.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Word. My computer is being an asshole right now. Gosh. Thank you. Jeez. So this man's going to cook his breakfast with a firework. We don't really need sound. That can shut up. Just mute it.
Guess it's going to go into that. Oh, God. Seriously?
Yeah, just watch. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say, don't try this at home. This man is grade A retarded. This is not a good way to make spicy eggs. Just saying.
Oh, my.
They get a little toasty. Would you eat eggs like this? Hey, Boosh. Would you cook eggs like this? Would you eat these eggs, bro? I bet you would.
Oh,
Nick Weiser would eat those. Lots of sulfur. At least it already smells like eggs. Like, does it look green? It kind of looked green there at the end. Like, those look kind of green eggs now. Hey, he made green eggs. Where's the ham, bitch?
Yeah, talk about a cooking failure.
Cooking fail. Yeah, he thought he was going to be cool.
Bush is either AFK or he's just in disbelief. Like, really, dude?
I think it's just more along the lines of he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some more random shit I found on the internet.
Oh, my. Oh.
Did you catch all that?
Oh, jeez.
I bet you didn't catch
it. Don't remind me. It's like it's another reminder why I don't like moving, and if I have to move, it's like I got to plan it out well in advance because, yeah.
Okay, so
yeah.
I'm just going to break this video down a little bit. That is a big lady.
It is.
Yeah. All right, holding a fucking cabinet or something.
Yeah.
On a motorcycle.
Yeah.
While carrying a scooter. And homeboy's like, oh, her weight shifted. Oh, it broke. The whole fucking thing broke over her.
Yeah.
And all she does is look back like, damn. I dropped my cabinet.
What else do you think was going to happen? Yeah.
Like, what? Yeah. Come on. Yeah, there's this weird noise at the beginning. Bing! Whack. John Edgar says, I didn't realize that was a woman. Female drivers. No, the driver's a dude.
It's like
He's like, you're a big bitch. You can carry the cabinet home.
Yeah.
Stop moving so much. Oh. Yeah, you can tell that that's a dude in the front. There's no, like, he's like, I ain't riding, bitch. You carry the cabinet. They both look like they're the same size, though, if we're being honest. I mean, like, after she breaks the cabinet, you just get, they both look like that's why it broke.
Yeah.
Because it was perfectly sandwiched between two very heavy objects, and it did not give it any leeway. They were just like, and then it snapped in half, and like, man, they should have gone to IKEA. At least it would have been a box.
Yeah.
You know?
Or at least talk to people. Hey.
Well, see, that's the thing. Now they have to rebuild it anyway if they want to keep it. So yeah, I see now. There's two people on that bike. Yeah.
Okay.
From the Poor Life Choices. Yes, they are. Yes, sir. Oh, man. Anyway, yeah. That bitch needs to just get a truck.
Yep.
Like, I know gas is expensive.
Yep.
But holy shit. Yep. That panda fell over and was like, fuck this chair. I'm so sick of falling on my ass.
Yep.
Damn it. That was cute, and I shared it because of my wife. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think this is really funny.
Listen, you, we are not friends. I do not give my pee-pee like this to a friend and make this requesting. Because we are not friends, I would like this, you to take my pee-pee, please, and treat it like a lollipop.
Treat it like a lollipop. Yeah. That guy kills me. I can't
the subtitling also, man. Like,
hey, Manny, you smell bad, and your face look like a goose.
Hey, man, you smell bad and look like a goose. Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Peanut.
Yep. Busting a nut with the nut bus. Yo. Mr. Peanut busted a nut and the nut bus is rolling. Look at it go. What? Right in the nuts, I might add. Okay. Like, if you want to, like, you look where that thing hit him. Like,
yeah.
Balls. Yeah.
Yeah, right there. Right in the mommy daddy button.
What the fuck? Yes. That was my thought exactly. Because he's busting a nut with a nut bus. Busting a nut with a nut bus. Anyway, that's actually kind of fun. So, Lester, how goes the YouTube channel?
Well, I was going to do my introductory clip. You know, just it's been interesting seeing some people do away with their intros. Some of them have developed a snazzy intro, so I'll see if I want to end up doing that or not.
All right.
I've just been busy with work and stuff.
Well, and on top of that, you just got to make sure that you do what you feel like is best for your channel, you know, so that you also enjoy it and don't get lost in the sea of everybody copying shit.
Yep.
And I'm just saying, I don't say you do that, but a lot of people do. Look at that guy get hit by that bus. I mean, anyway. Have you ever been hit by a bus, Lester?
No, thank God. And I probably wouldn't be able to I don't think I'd live to tell the story.
Especially if it hit you in the nuts like that. Like,
both. Yeah, well, yeah. Who knows how out of commission I would be, whether eternally or whatever.
I feel like it's a good thing that cop wasn't at this, whatever the fuck this is,
Yeah.
because he probably would have fired some shots. Like, oh yeah, you guys can't hear the weird ass audio that's on this. We're gonna watch it again so you can hear the audio. Yeah. Hi, Christian. How are you?
I am great. Well, is that better? I am great. And yourselves?
Can't
Super.
complain. It's Friday tomorrow, and I got a 3-day weekend, so
Oh, good man. Good man. Lucky you. I love those.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm
That's
gonna.
what we get
I-
when it's President's Day in the United States. You know.
What do we have on Monday? We have Family Day in Ontario and a few provinces.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
And then-
provincially based. Okay. For your holidays too. That's crazy.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
But well, yeah, we got holidays. Most of our holidays are similar to each other. Greetings, John. Nice to see you, buddy. Most of our holidays are the same, but we change the names. Like your President's Day is like Victoria Day weekend up here,
okay.
and stuff like that. But it's pretty much the same. The only thing we got the same: Easter, Christmas, New Year's, and Labor Day.
Oh yeah.
All right.
And Halloween, of course, because our Thanksgiving is a little sooner because of the weather. We do our Thanksgiving in mid-October because after that we got snow.
Well, yeah.
But I'm sorry, Cory. I didn't want to derail your program. I just thought I'd say, hey, I made it, guys. And look at this. Another great American thing that you guys have that makes my Canadian days a lot shorter.
Old
Oh yeah.
So cheers to all of yous.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Thank-
Cheers, sir. You want to see this bus bust this
Yeah.
nut? It's a nut bus. It's going to bust a nut.
Is that a real bus? Oh,
I don't know if it's an actual, like, full bus, but that nut getting hit in the nuts by that nut bus could not have been good.
puts a new meaning to planters.
Yes.
Yeah,
Indeed.
that's the brand. Yeah, Planters.
Man, when I see things like that, I'm just like,
This is a silly. This is a silly and danger.
it's a
I love
city
that.
of danger.
Yeah.
That every time I watch that video, I damn near die because I'm laughing so hard because that man has absolutely no mastery over the English language whatsoever.
Take my
Well, you-
pee and treat it like a lollipop.
A for effort, though.
Yeah, he made a nice 3-minute rant that was all like ridiculous, you know.
Yes.
Suck my
Yeah, because I still have 499 pp. Yep. So, Christian,
Yes.
about that show last night. How did it
Yes.
turn out?
It turned out good. You know what? The green room after with Sentinel, Pope, and myself, where we can actually talk about what we really want on YouTube. The green room was longer or as long as the show. It was great. We wrapped it up at 10:15 my time, Eastern.
Mhm.
And it was good. It was fun. And and thank you, Cory. I really enjoy you coming on. It's wonderful. You're such a good guy.
I
You know?
tried.
Yeah,
But I had a
and
good time though. It was fantastic. So, what was the next one you said it was going to be? Another some kind of Canadian power trio again.
yes,
Almost like
it's
you're obsessed with Canadian power trios.
Triumph, Canadian
Triumph.
heavy metal from the
Oh.
70s and the 80s. And surprisingly, a lot of you Americans know about these bands. Like that always takes me away. Like usually it's the other way around. Canadians know about American bands and Americans don't know about Canadian bands, but it's so cool. The more I go into music, the more I network with other fellows. They're like, oh yeah, I love that band. Like this time it'll be Joe's Atmosphere that'll be front and center because that's his band, Triumph.
Hell yeah. So, Lester, have you ever listened to Triumph?
Don't think so. Don't think so.
Is he old enough for that? Lester looks pretty young.
I'm a dude in my 40s. I should be.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
old
okay,
enough.
okay.
Yeah,
You just
He's
look
old enough.
young. Yeah, you got good genes, Lester.
that's what people tell me.
I'm
Word.
52. They came out like in 76, 77. That's where they
Okay.
first came out in the heavy metal days. And
Okay.
another, yeah. So,
So, Christian, can I ask you a question since this is, in fact, Dick's News International?
yeah,
What's it
about
like
my dick.
being a no? What's it like being a truck driver in Canada right now after
Yeah.
everything that happened in the past?
Okay,
Feel
so
free to talk about however you want, by the way. Fuck you,
we
dude.
talk about the protests or the weather.
Talk about the protests or the weather.
Take your
Well, the
pick.
weather, it's pretty monotonous
Either.
because, okay, well, we'll start with the easy answer. The weather is pretty much predictable. And, you get winter months, you get spring months, you get fall months, and you get the wonderful summer months. So that's always good. And if you're good at your job, it's pretty good, decent gig. Like there's nothing wrong about driving a snowstorm with a tractor trailer. You're the biggest truck on the road and all that. For the other thing, let's put it this way: the protest, the closest thing as it is, the closest thing that you guys can relate to is January 6th. There's 4 organizers in Alberta that are still in jail and not charged, and nobody will touch them with a 10-foot pole. And it's all political. A lady that one of the main organizers, she's been rang through the ringer just to make an example out of her. And unfortunately, these archaic, I wouldn't say archaic, these methods are actually good because nobody protests anymore. Like the Tucker Carlson interview there with that trucker, they pretty much squashed all because they went right after our bank accounts. They went right after companies. Again, these 4 guys in Coots, they came up with this story about they had a cache of weapons and explosives and all that. Yeah, as you Americans say, it was really glowing. And unfortunately, these guys are being held without charges, without bail, and solitary confinement. So it's hell. And people are waking up, but for different reasons in Canada. So the trucker protests, which makes me think that propaganda in Canada and the state media and the paid and bought for media is a lot more successful than I thought. In the height of COVID, people are still, no, we don't want our freedom. Govern me harder, daddy. Govern me harder. We don't want our freedoms. Lock us up and all that. And, but people are slowly waking up now due to the economy and a few other things.
Now, when you say people are waking up, I'm sorry, Lester. When you say people are waking up, are they? Do you believe that the Canadian people will actually take the effort and put in the work to make a change, or do you think that they will be more complacent and just allow them to roll over you guys?
I'll tell you, they'll bitch a bit more because, again, unlike Germany, Russia, well, you talked about Russia, but still, politically in Canada, we are very immature. We're still a very young country. We're 150 some years old, but politically, we're very immature. Rhetoric, propaganda, false promises, good looking, pretty boys. They get elected left, right, and center. I think people will complain more. But again, Trudeau, as despised as he is and as destructive as he's been to my country, and embarrassing on the world stage. Like Canada used to be known for diplomacy. Man, we are the laughing stock in the world. But even that, he still holds 30% support. I don't know where these people come from, regardless of what it is. So anyway,
Authentic Dictatorship brought to you by Justin Castro. That's right.
that's right.
Hail to Keck 44. Go ahead, Lester.
Okay. And I'm just curious because at least depending on what side of the spectrum or fence,
Yeah.
Americans like to talk about borders, national security, and I don't know if that's in the stream of consciousness within the greater Canadian border. Because it
It
didn't
is.
seem like that. Oh, is that a talking point that people talk about in the Canadian press, or just, I guess, people, person to person? Because it doesn't seem that way. Maybe it's because I don't. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, technically, you're right, but there's still some blatant facts that you can't deny. You got hotels in downtown Toronto full of great, wonderful people from other countries brought in. They're bringing in around 500,000 every year, which causes two things. Some of these families that come into Canada are homeless. So
Okay.
people can't deny that. It's not,
Okay.
you can't just say, oh, you're anti immigrant, you're racist. No, no, these people have no place to live. And in the province that I'm in, there's a shortage of about 1 million homes just in
Okay.
Ontario itself,
Hmm.
which on the second time, on this, the secondary effect is, speaking of border, but this is not a porous border. This is from invitation from the government. They're trying to cleanse us out, get rid of the Canadian people, whether they're French or English, and try to bring in a post-nationalistic voter base that will vote for these people. And the other thing I was saying is the real estate mortgage is market is just disgusting up here. They did a comparison. One of your reporters, Stossel, he did between Ontario and New York, Niagara Falls, right? Twin Cities. A 2 or 3 bedroom bungalow in Niagara Falls, New York, will go for 235,000. The same one in Niagara Falls, Ontario, you're looking at $500,000. So,
That's crazy.
so to go back to your question, Lester, yes, the talk is there, but again, I wouldn't want to call us sheeps, but we're or the stereotypical polite, but people complain, but are they really ready to go up in arms and start protesting and all that?
Yeah.
So given what I've seen from Canada in recent history and from a few of the people that I've talked to from there, it seems to me that Canada's not really the kind of place that you would expect a good revolution to come out of to stop the government.
No, far from it. We are way too complacent. But think about it. 30%. Okay, so our economy is equal to Mississippi's economy in the United States. The 50th state with the worst economy is par with Canada. So if you still have 30% support for the ruling government right now, that means there's 30% of the Canadian public that's so well off, they don't feel it. And until everybody feels it, and unfortunately, I think people will only react when it's way too late.
I agree. And now, moving to something that's a little bit more lighthearted than
All right.
speaking of Canada's political issues.
Yeah.
What are your guys' favorite foreign bands? Christian, that means no North American bands.
Oh.
So from another country, either England, Germany, it could be, because I mean, there's some good bands coming out of that came out of Germany that did really well back in
Scorpions.
The day. Yeah.
I'll just go to Rammstein.
Rammstein. Yeah, that's good. I like Rammstein's early stuff.
My favorite band in the whole wide world is Creedence Clearwater Revival. And they didn't come out of Canada, but that's North America, you said, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to, because like those are really, like, maybe it's one we haven't heard of. Like, who knows?
Okay, well, my favorite British band is actually
One Man Show. Sorry.
Hey, no, it's all good. Hey, One Man Joe. My favorite British band is The Cream with Eric Clapton, Jack Bruce, and the great late Ginger Baker, who was actually modeled as a puppet, the animal who played drums. He
Oh,
was modeled after Ginger Baker. Some
That's
useless
fantastic.
information here.
I had no idea. That's fantastic to learn. There's no such thing as useless information.
yeah.
Thank you very much. Gosh.
That's
John
right.
Edgar says Credence is and was a great band.
Yes.
Indeed.
John Fogerty's still walking this earth. We are blessed by that man's presence.
So how much, like how many hours of music do you listen to when you're driving your truck?
Well, actually, I got two moods: politics and music. Some days I
Okay.
wake up and I just want to listen to music. So, and I drive my truck, but I also do deliveries. So I can play my music for about 8 to 10 hours, no problem, nonstop. Not counting they're not interruptions. They come from my wife, my lovely wife. It's a gift when she calls me. Yes,
Good
but
save.
yes, and other times there'll be podcasts, different YouTubers, and Rumble people.
Who's your favorite YouTubers to listen to while you're driving?
I
Not just
like
one, but
again. It depends what kind of mood I'm in. I like geopolitics. Um, I have a son in the Canadian military, so anything that's related to Ukraine news
Okay.
touches me dearly because, unfortunately, our fearless feminist leader, he cannot build houses in Canada for the new immigrants, but he can send billions of dollars to a corrupt NAZI
yep.
leadership. So I like the Duran. I like Judge Napolitano. I like that guy.
Okay.
I like, well, there's quite a few I listen to, but my favorite, again, it all depends on what kind of mood I'm in. Lighthearted, it depends on the delivery, it depends on what I'm in the mood for. Does that answer your question?
That's fair. Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
that's
Okay.
absolutely fair. So Lester, what are your listening preferences with
Oh,
podcasts or music or anything?
well, because it was football season for the last number of months, I've been listening to some football podcasts, but I'm very selective with that, even within the individual episodes. And then my parents gifted me YouTube TV, so I've been doing that more often. And then with that, if there's one channel I tune into on YouTube TV, it's MTV Classic. Although I wish there was more variety, but on that channel you just have music videos.
Hell
Who would
yeah.
have thought, right? Music videos. But this is in the era when music videos were still a thing. So we're talking like 90s, 80s, I think 70s, and um, bits of 2000. Like, well,
Yeah,
it was still common, but once they stopped doing that, and there's like one um, segment or show of videos, classic pop or classic rock. And I'm just looking at some of these things I saw in the late 90s. Okay, technically they passed muster just by time, simply because it's almost 30 years after the fact they've been released, or it's very close to that. Maybe, I guess you could say classics 20, 25 years, whatever. But even with that, a lot of the stuff that's passing off as classic, it doesn't give me a sense of timelessness. It's just a good memorabilia. Like, oh yeah, that was around when I was that age. Like,
right.
Avril Lavigne is not timeless.
No.
Living La Vida
That's,
Loca, it technically might be classic by virtue of duration, but it's not timeless. Like, it's just
Right.
it's
I
not
agree.
Rush.
It's
no,
not rushed.
no.
Fair
I
point.
just thought about that. Like you just know that something has a timeless quality. You can't exactly put a finger on it. So like I remember Tears for Fears.
Yes, very good.
Tears for Fears. Even as a kid, I was like 5, maybe even 3, and I just remember the tune. And even as I got older in the 90s and 2000s, it still has that quality where, yeah, it tugs a member berry, but it's solid. I can probably wait another 5 to 10 years, and I'll be like, everybody wants to rule the world. Classic. It has that sense of timelessness. I'm sorry, but
It
Skater
really
Boy
does.
does not.
Right. I agree 100%. And I hate circling back, but Radioactive might need some clarification on something you said earlier, Christian Delorme. He said that he's asking the GDP of Canada is no greater than Mississippi. Is that what you had said earlier?
Not the GDP, but the economic status. Our the way our economy is running, we're running at par with Mississippi in the United States. So we
Wow.
have a big GDP, but it's so badly run. But don't forget, we have the great carbon tax here. That is tax on everything. And in a country like Canada, everything is hauled by us humble truckers. So what happens when you put a carbon tax on diesel fuel? Well, the cost of living just goes through the roof because everything is transported,
Yeah.
whether it's food, building material. The only thing we don't deliver is babies. We make them, we don't deliver them.
That's a good way
And
to put it. That's funny.
so I hope that explains what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm not an economist, but it's just the finances in Canada are ran into the ground. I could see a big crash coming in the next couple of years.
All righty.
No,
Yeah.
And from what Radioactive says here, all of Canada in 2021 had basically the same GDP as California.
Yep.
Almost. California made a little bit more money than your whole country.
Right, exactly. And
So-
the thing is, we have such richness. You look at Northern Ontario, around the James Bay area, they call it the Ring of Fire up there. Okay.
Yeah.
We have minerals, we have timber, we have diamonds, De Beers diamonds, or we're up north in Northern Ontario. You go out west, you got oil and everything. We are one of the at par with Russia when it comes to natural resources, but it's that mindset, that green mindset.
yeah,
They want, yeah. And they haven't started the full attack on the farmers yet. They're creeping it up. They're starting with the carbon tax, with the fuel, because everything runs on fuel, including farmers and all that. It's not quite as bad as what the European Union are doing with their I don't know what the English word is, but they're awful laws, and it's just to run. Again, they want us to eat bugs, and they want us to eat lab grown meat. Okay, done by Bill Gates and all that. While
Bro.
these guys will have their own pastures and all their food.
Bioprinting. Yeah, dude, bioprinting is one of the scariest fucking ideas I've ever heard of.
Oh,
Simply
unbelievable!
for the fact that, like, the first time I heard about it was them bioprinting fish fillets, and it was made from reconstituted DNA from the fat of a halibut, and they were making these fish fillets that they were breading them and they were selling them, and I'm all like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
It's like they want to play 3D chess without the consequences.
Yeah, kind of.
But not. Sorry, go ahead, Lester. Sorry.
No, it's just, I just think about, because you talk about the green. It's like every country that's trying to push this, they want to appease their sense of self-consciousness without realizing, yeah, we want our country to be in the green initiative, but then in order to make that happen, there goes the consequence.
Everyone suffers.
They go to places where that doesn't, where they have no, what do they call it? They have no self-consciousness whatsoever when it comes to their effect on the environment. So like people like, oh, look at China, but you do know China runs an arse ton of coal plants.
Yeah, exactly.
Bro,
So it's like,
China and India are the two largest polluters in the world. As a matter of
Yeah.
fact, I recently saw a video of literally an entire canal in India filled with plastic bottles.
yeah,
Yeah.
And people were down there and they were picking out pieces that weren't plastic bottles because apparently this is how they filter out some of the garbage from their holy waters. And yeah, I'm like, how is it you people are okay with that? Like
Mhm.
if people want to be environmentally conscious, they need to actually look at who the culprits of
yeah,
environmental pollution are. And I got news for you guys. It's not the truck drivers in Canada. It's not Lester or I driving our shitty little cars. It's literally the people who make all of your products. India
Exactly.
and China. And then on top of that, not to just harp on beat a dead horse or whatever, but if you look at how much carbon output Leonardo DiCaprio or any of these other ecological warriors
yeah.
put out, it's
Yeah.
like 400 500 times that I could put out in a year driving my truck around.
Yeah.
So
And
But
I'm like,
it
shut
only,
your fucking mouths. That's
yeah.
all I have to say.
So I wanted to go back to your point about especially when you talked about the manufactured food. So I visited Vancouver, BC in 2019 and 2019,
now,
1919 was when I was with my folks and we went to some park, and it was like a vegan's paradise because of
okay,
all the propaganda.
Lester,
Yeah.
Lester, I just want to cut you. Whatever you saw in Vancouver, I apologize. The left took a beautiful city in at the foot of the mountains and turned it into a shithole city. Okay, so I don't know when you went, but now it's like drugs are rampant, crime is rampant. It's just disgusting. So I apologize on behalf of my countrymen. Vancouver used to be a gem of a city, and the
Yeah.
lefties just ran into the ground.
Yeah,
Today
so
we made
I
history,
noticed
ladies
because
and
I was at this
gentlemen.
park, and it was like if you were a self-proclaimed vegan, it's like I'm in heaven because look at how they value the animals, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
and look at their bone density or
exactly.
lack thereof.
So it's and then especially within that same community, you've got people that are pushing. We got to have alternative food to the, and I thought if a lot of the people in that community are organic loving people, and yet
Mhm.
they want to push inorganic meat
Imitation
solutions.
meat shit. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but okay.
Fake
See,
meat. Ooh.
but you got to see Lester and Corey. You got to see where this is coming from. These people are not lived-in people. These people do not have wrinkles under their eyes from working 70-hour weeks. They don't have gray in their beards from wisdom and trial and error and fighting every freaking month to make the end of the month meet.
Right.
Okay, these people are usually well-off people. I hate that term, but I'm going to say it. Trust
Yeah.
fund babies. Okay. They never worked a day in their fucking life and
Yeah.
they never experienced hardship except that somebody put the wrong name on their latte at Starbucks. Okay.
It's
So when,
perceived.
yeah, exactly. So these people, it doesn't really matter what they say because they're kind of a niche. Okay, and the only problem with vegans is they can't stop telling you they're vegans. So that's another thing why I don't like vegans. But anyway,
Their mouth
so
wouldn't flap so much if it was full of meat. I'm just saying.
that's right. And
You know.
tube steak, giggity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Giggity. Yeah,
Sorry,
you know what?
giggity.
Oh no, it's just no, because that is an important point because they all want to live a pipe dream. So, for
Yeah.
example, the whole push for electricity, it's like, well, especially in California, I'm pretty sure it's almost the same in every other state. Where's the infrastructure to put in your charging stations? It's got to run off of something.
So for me, I feel like there's a huge, crazy hypocrisy that happens with that kind of stuff because um with the Super Bowl, for instance, the entire stadium was supposedly run off of solar power. during the entire game on the
Bullshit.
broadcasts and all that stuff on this new world's first solar farm that's like right next to the stadium. It seemed
Right.
like anyway. And I'm like, okay, well, why didn't you use that to decrease the power costs of the homes surrounding the area and maybe actually do something for your economy, you know? But I'm not the hypocritical type. I won't say that I would use if I had that kind of power. I don't know if I would give it to the plebes either. I mean, honestly,
Well,
it's you have to keep that power.
the thing with solar and wind power, okay, the problem is, and we tried this experiment in Canada. Excuse me. In
Hail
Canada,
Masquerade.
sorry, that's old Milwaukee saying thank you. But in Canada, we tried this experiment on the most beautiful July day where it's sunny, not a cloud in the sky, a 10-mile-an-hour wind. The best that alternative energy could do is 2% of the grid. 80% up here is being pushed by nuclear in Ontario. And then maybe another 20%, well, okay, obviously 18% is hydroelectric. And in the best of conditions, you might get 2% off solar panels and wind power. So the thing is, it's a great idea. So is Santa Claus and so is the Tooth Fairy. But at the end of the month, they don't pay the bills.
Have you ever seen one of those wind turbines just disintegrate?
No, that would be a cool thing. That would be a cool thing. I'd love to watch that.
It's pretty crazy because they're gigantic. Most people don't realize how big these wind turbines actually are. But
yeah,
like when they're spinning and they're actually facing the wind, it'll bend the blades back so it'll eventually catch the mounting post and it'll just obliterate the entire thing. It's one of my favorite fucking things of all time. And Christian Delorme just wounded Masgrave deeply. He says Santa isn't real. No. Yeah.
Possible.
Sorry, Masgrave.
Yeah.
Mind you, the Tooth Fairy, no, the Easter Bunny is real, though. The fucker's always chewing up my couch around Easter.
That's too bad. No, it's like what you said. Like, it's funny when we bring up nuclear, all the virtue signalers like, no, we can't have the. Like, well, wait a minute. You wanted something with zero emissions. There's plenty of nuclear material around, especially in North America.
As long as they don't put the nuclear power plants anywhere near major fault lines, we'd be fine. I mean, we have to learn from Japan here, people.
Yes.
If you're going to have nuclear, don't put them in California. For one, that whole state's going to fall off eventually. I know we've been saying that for centuries, but I'm still praying to God it happens.
Escape from
no
LA.
Offense, Lester. No offense, Lester. I would love that. I've been saying that for years. I would love to see
from LA.
Wall it off and just shove all the shit eaters in there. It would be hilarious.
Yeah,
you could film it and put it online and make money because they want to see it.
You bring up the consumption by these enviro Yahtzees, and it's just so it does lead the question: what is the environmental issue? Because I've heard it since grade school, if I can remember right, whether that was late 80s, early 90s, they changed the name. The ozone layer is going to disappear. Oh, wait, the ozone layer is repaired? Huh? What?
And before that, in the 80s, when I was a kid going to school, it was acid rain. Funny how they don't talk about that anymore.
Yeah, acid rain. I love that episode of The Simpsons where his raincoat melting and shit. It was so good.
But it's like...
But I'm going to cut you off, Lester, because we're actually in the last few moments of the show.
Sure.
I only do an hour. We all know that. So we have about 30 seconds for you guys to pitch your shit. Lester, go. That was too slow.
I'll get those videos up soon. I promise. I'll do my reader's corner.
Yes, make sure you find him at The Skeptic Tank here on YouTube. Lester the Skeptic Tank. He is fantastic. Lester San Jose the Skeptic Tank. It's a big long name. Check it out. Christian Delorme, go.
Real quick, I love music, and I do streams every 2 weeks to a month. Come and see us on our channel. We got Cory.
Yeah.
Occasionally, he does have me. Yes, it does indeed. That's make sure you check out Christian DeLorme's Vinyl Revival. He does fantastic shows, and he's got some great guys on his panels too. Especially that Pope Metallicus fellow. He is a fine gent, indeed.
Indeed.
But ladies and gentlemen, I will probably see you in about an hour on Thursday Night Throwdown. From my understanding, we're going to be talking X-Men 99, if I remember correctly. Is that what it was?
No, 97.
Maybe it was Madam Web. Yeah, it's 97. That's right. And Madam Web, I believe. You can expect many penis-related comments coming from me, and maybe some comments about some scantily clad women here and there, because
Giggity.
Giggity. Giggity.
Hey, what up?
yes. But so I just want to kind of close this off with a nice little motivational quote. Here we go.
Take my pee-pee and treat it like a lollipop.
There you are. Ladies and gentlemen, stay sexy, don't get murdered, and as always, have a wonderful time. Bye-bye.
Later.